Apparently, one of Mr. Beast's very close friends and colleagues is now a part of the LGTV community. Does this have anything to do with why Mr. Beast is no longer a Christian? We're going to be looking at all of that. This is Daily Disciples channel, who I'm friendly with over social media. We've never met in person, but I like his stuff. And he did a great job of just condensing all this. We're not going to look at the whole video, but he kind of pieced it all together for us. And we're going to jump in.
The tale of Mr. Beast could be categorized as miraculous. A kid from North Carolina in his mom's basement doing all sorts of crazy challenges in order to garner YouTube attention, ultimately becoming one of the most successful and recognizable YouTubers ever. But it wasn't a solo effort. Along the way, he's had a group of friends that have helped him perform his outrageous stunts. And over the years, because of Mr. Beast's skyrocketing popularity, his friends as well have garnered their own subset of fans. But this week, controversy broke out because one of his friends, Chris, who's often seen in the videos, ultimately came out as transgender.
My man's got a whole family, bro. Man's got a whole family, bro.
I did not expect that one either.
You watch this? Like, you know who this guy is?
Yeah, I mean, when you tune into Mr. Beast videos over the past few years, like it's very familiar face,
in.
like super,
Okay.
like one of the like right hand guy type of thing.
Yeah, man.
Like almost in every single video.
This man got a whole see, and this is the stuff with this paradigm and this ideology, and I hate to be that guy. The entire paradigm of live your truth, of whatever you feel on the inside is objectively true, and the world just needs to get in line and affirm it. This is the logical conclusion of it. These things both can't be good. It can't be equally good to say, I'm going to live my truth in my inner self that's been trapped in the wrong body. I'm gonna personify that. That can't be good, and I'm also going to divorce my family and not be in the same home as my child. These things are not both good. These are incongruent things that can't both be good. So all of you guys that are like, yay, live your truth. At what expense? At what point do we tell somebody, no, you can't do that? It's too late. You got a family. You got kids. You got a wife. You have people that are depending on you. You cannot do that. It's too late. If you wanted to do this stuff and explore and do all this, when you was a kid, different. Teenager, okay. You can't do this after, and I'm not saying it from a Christian standpoint. I'm saying as a society. As a society, when do we draw the line and go, nope, you've been married for 10 years with multiple kids that want their father, and now you're telling them that their father is now a mother and the father is leaving the house and going to pursue a whole nother life? No, you cannot do that. That is not okay. Instead, we call evil good and good evil.
Non-binary. I came to find out as well that not only is Chris married, but he also has a kid, so that his decision has drastic ramifications. Chris actually responded to a tweet commenting on his drastic shift in appearance, saying that he had been on hormone replacement therapy. So why do I bring this story up? Well,
Hold it back. Now I'm confused. He said HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I guess that can be estrogen too. Okay, never mind. You keep going.
Saying that he had been on hormone replacement therapy. So why do I bring this story up? Well, number one, I found it super interesting to see the audience's response to Chris's transformation. And in this video, I want to help us understand transgenderism and gender in light of God's design. As always, let's dive in. So according to what I've seen, Chris is accepting all kinds of pronouns. So he's not exactly going female. Maybe he's non-binary. And he's also going on hormone replacement therapy, as I mentioned before. But recently, a live stream went viral of him appearing with the Mr. Beast crew in a crop top and a headband, basically kind of portraying himself much more femininely.
This is a sickness.
Man, this is in a crop top. Hey, listen, there's some like bodybuilding dudes that be out on Muscle Beach that can pull off like a little short tank top.
Yeah, he went the wrong way though.
That ain't it though.
He did the cleavage route.
you got to go to you got to get the muscle mass on. You got to do a different kind of TRT to pull off a crop top like that.
The other hormones.
The other ones.
Womanly. Now, apparently, I wasn't the only one who witnessed the absurdity of this picture. A lot of other people felt very uncomfortable as well, even those who didn't have a religious background. Like, you look at the comments underneath these live streams or these clips on TikTok or Instagram, you come to find out that a lot of people really feel like there's discontinuity here. Something isn't right. Now, maybe if you're a Christian watching this, you've concluded that
that's a W take. The fact that there are non-Christians and non-conservative people in the comments of these going, wait a minute, something's not right here.
So I wonder what feels weird to these people than all the other T issues.
The obvious. What do you mean?
The family one, the family part.
No, I think just like
They're familiar with him, and now they're not
society
familiar with
is
him.
not as progressive as people want us to think. Most people look at this stuff and be like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like most dudes are like Joe Rogan. Like most dudes are like, guys, this is nonsense.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you saw his whole bit about the Nashville thing and the misgendering of the person, right? Guys, this is not like, this is ridiculous. Like I think most folks are there. I told you my brother was over here and he was talking about having to fire somebody that was non-binary and he was like fumbling around with the pronouns and I was like, look, bro, just stop. And he's like, you're right. Like this is silly. Like what are we doing? My brother's not a Christian.
That's amazing.
My brother's left. Like he's on the liberal. He's way more liberal than I am.
He's like, is this a safe place where I can just
say what I think? Safe place is going to be for us just to say what we think.
Come to the studio.
Come to the stew.
Lock the double
Lock
doors.
the doors and just tell me how you really feel about this stuff instead of walking on eggshells.
Oh man.
Most people know there's something wrong, but they just got to be quiet for the socials. They got to be quiet because they can get fired. They got to be quiet because they can get backlash from their friends. Like that's and so I think that's a W take, which in my opinion drives home the point that we are created with the law of God on our hearts written and that we know right from wrong. We have a conscience, eternity's on our hearts. We understand these things, but peer pressure's a mug. You know what I mean? Social contagion is a mug. You want to be empathetic, right? But to what end into with what consequence?
Transgenderism movement has been so widely accepted that there is no use in speaking up. But I think the story testifies to the fact that people that don't even consider themselves to be Christian still recognize there is a discontinuity. Something isn't right here.
Right.
To see a 20-something-year-old man, a husband, a father in a crop top doesn't sit well with most people. There's something wrong about that. Now the question is that because people just need to get with the times and be more accepting and put down their bigoted beliefs or presuppositions about the world? Or is it because it's something that's innate within us, something that testifies to God's design?
Come on. That's a W.
Answer that question in a second, but what's even more tragic about this situation is that this man has a son, and yet he's abandoning his role as father in pursuit of his own personal fulfillment. I saw somebody share this same concern, and Chris responded saying that he can be just as good of a parent as he could be before, and there's no need for a father. He can just be a good, loving parent, and he's going to teach his son to love.
You can't be a non-binary father.
Yeah.
Those two things are incongruent. Can you still be there and be a parent? Sure. But you cannot be a father any longer.
Well,
that is other. That is something else.
But I think that's almost even worse. Because he's also saying you don't need a father. You just need a loving parent.
Right.
It's like, nah. You need a father.
Yep. And listen, this notion that if you disagree with this, that you don't believe trans people exist is nonsense.
Yeah.
I could agree that people have conflicting feelings about their bodies while saying, but the ideology driving this is counterintuitive. I had a progressive friend ask me, he said, you think it's an ideology? I said, yes, it's absolutely an ideology. And I sent him a screenshot of what ideology is. And he said, so what's heterosexual ideology? And I said, natural law. That's it. Heterosexual ideology is natural law. What is the natural way God created things to be? What is the natural way God created things to be? How did God create things to function? Not saying if they don't function that way, that somebody is discarded or bad, like if a woman can't have a baby.
Yeah.
But we would all admit if a woman wants a baby, can't have a baby, or loses a baby, that is tragic because it's outside of the natural order of things. If a man wants to have kids and he can't, that is outside of it. We'd be like, yo, bro, I can't believe it. Like, you got to get your sperm count out, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So there's a natural order of things that we all acknowledge. And when people lose babies and when people can't have babies and when people, right, we all acknowledge the tragedy in that. Yet we act like it's okay to be in relationships that don't produce the natural order of things. So we're having this conversation even in our own home in terms of where do babies come from. So we're talking about man has the sperm, mommy has the egg, the sperm gets into the mommy's body, and 9 months later there's a baby. The baby comes out, mommy pushed the baby out. But my son's 8, and we were having this conversation. Well, he was having a conversation with my wife because he was explaining this to my niece. And then he said, but Mom, how does the sperm get in the egg? So guess what we're talking about tonight?
Really?
Yeah. We got a couple books. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah.
This is so much cooler than the rest of the topic.
We get so and it's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. It's conversations.
Yeah.
We give him the information that he could handle at his age.
Yeah. So what does that look like at 8? Like, what does that book?
We
look
got
like?
a couple resources. We got 2 different books, and then my buddy Brandon Bournes also gave me some resources. And so yeah, we'll go
So you
that.
just naturally you follow the natural flow of the child's curiosity.
Development, yeah.
Yeah. So you're like,
and
oh.
we also got to be careful because he has a 7-year-old niece who we also got to consider
He
her
can't like
development.
leak that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not her time.
But he's understood the biology for a very long time.
yeah, he's understood sperm fertilizes egg.
Yeah. So, I'll let you guys know how that conversation goes.
Smart
But,
kid.
Man, this is wild. And I think this is connected. I bet you Mr. Beast having to be loyal to his friend and affirming, knowing that that's in direct contradiction with the Christian faith he grew up with. I bet you it's connected. Because this is how most people start to deconvert and detransition.
I also wonder, and this is a horrible thought. Maybe we cut this out. You actually definitely cut this out.
Oh, gosh.
I wonder how such an intense change, hormonally, ideologically, living that out, may affect someone's performance as an employee. But he is now unable to fire him because you cannot fire.
Yep. Well, I told you that the non-binary person my brother fired is trying to sue the company.
Exactly. But exactly.
And they were there for like 2 weeks. Terrible employee.
Yes, but yeah. So
I think that assessment is probably true for a lot of the performance of the people that hold this ideology of like the world's out to get me, no one wants me to be happy.
Yeah.
There's they're trying to take my rights, which is a whole nother conversation. What rights?
Yeah.
What rights do you have that I don't have?
Yeah.
Or what rights do I have that you don't have? If I'm a school teacher, I shouldn't be telling everybody about my love life in kindergarten or in first grade or in second grade or in third grade and fourth grade, fifth grade.
Yep.
I shouldn't be telling about that. So your one issue is that you can't talk. Your right that you're losing is you can't talk about your love life in school as a teacher. That's literally it.
Yeah.
The education. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I agree. And so I just wonder, like, what that's got to do to someone's mood, to their energy, like their actual physical energy, not their chakras. You know what I'm saying? Like are they crashing? Yep. Yeah, the self-realization could lead to self-absorption. I could just see that being, and I could be completely wrong. He could be a awesome person to work with, but either way, getting fired or decreasing in videos is not an option.
Yeah, I would be curious if there was any studies done on that.
Yeah,
people who transition, how does it affect their work?
Especially since they have a before test with this
output,
that like, oh, we've worked with him for years and now he's transitioning, and because that's a very big change. And so the whole "you've changed, bro." It's like that is change.
Yeah. So I mean, that's an actual change. If you want to go to Extra Mile, partner with us for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams, to get access to the podcast before they go public on YouTube, our Discord server, discount codes to the store, and so much more for as little as $5 a month. Keep us independent and ultimately answering to you. Consider partnering with us in our online community for as little as $5 a month.
Our friends at Genucel Skincare have exciting news to celebrate in 2023.
Using Manscaped during my showers after workout has given me much more confidence.
And that's where Mudwater comes in.
True Classic has got your back.
All thanks to the sponsor of today's video, SayMine.com.
Established Titles is your opportunity to earn the title of Laird or Lady. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 7.99% APR to 19.99% APR, included 0.50% autopay discount.
If you don't want us to make ads with brands you don't care about, sign up for our online community for as little as $5 a month to keep us independent and ultimately answering to you as our boss. You get all sorts of benefits like daily replays of our after party streams, exclusive access to our Discord community, and early access to our podcast interviews, all starting for only $5 a month.